everyone, I'm Gabby.
And I'm Jay.
And this is our journey to retire all over. On this channel, we are sharing our experience as we get ready to retire in 5 years or so. Today, we're starting the second part of our road trip throughout the western US. We originally flew to San Francisco, then drove down the Pacific Coast Highway, and now we're driving all the way back to Houston, documenting every stop along the way. If you want to check out the first part of our trip, we will link the video in the description. But first, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell to be notified whenever we post new content.
So today we're actually going to be exploring the Sequoias and the giant Sequoias here in Sequoia National Park in Kings Canyon Park in California. We rented a lovely little RV in Three Rivers, which is just down the road from Sequoia National Park. We're going to spend the whole day trekking around, seeing the largest trees in the world. We're super excited, so can't wait to show you.
Wildfires in these forests are not uncommon. These beautiful trees have to face them almost every year. As we walk, you'll easily see the massive burns and scars these giants have suffered over the years. However, 2020 and 2021 have been especially devastating for the Sequoias. In 2020, the Castle Fire destroyed over 7,500 trees, ones that ranged from hundreds to 3,000 years old. The current K&P complex fire has burned over 11,000 acres and is threatening the giant forest once again.
If you are able and want to help out, please consider donating to www.sequoiaparkconservancy.org. We've linked it in the description below.
We are officially in the land of the giants. And as you can see, Jay is taking a little break over there. We're going to continue driving up, and our first stop is going to be the General Sherman tree, which is the biggest tree in the world. So excited.
So here we are at the beginning of the General Sherman Trail. We're going to be walking the Giant Forest Loop, which is a combination of 3 trails. It's the General Sherman Trail, the Congress Trail, and I don't remember the name of the third one, but it's about a 7-mile hike, and it's very easy, very doable. So we'll shoot some footage and let you see what there is to see here at the Sequoia National Park.
Follow us.
The Giant Forest Loop is actually made up of 4, not 3 separate trails. The General Sherman Trail, the Circle Meadow Trail, the Trail of the Sequoias, and Congress Trail.
Although some experienced hikers would call it an easy hike, we say it's more moderate.
So we just passed a sign that's a really important thing. This park is at well over a mile in altitude plus. So it's really easy to lose your breath. These are some steep trails and steep hikes to get to places. Even though the 7-mile walk we're going to do is listed as easy, it's still going to be at over a mile in altitude. So stop, catch your breath, drink plenty of water.
Take your time, walk slow.
And bring a little bit of food, a little bit of water to keep your energy up.
The General Sherman Trail Loop is actually fully paved and very easy to walk. It is, however, downhill all the way there and very uphill on the way back.
The General Sherman tree is the world's largest living tree by volume. It stands 275 feet or 83 meters tall and is 103 feet or 31 meters around. It's estimated to be between 2,300 and 2,700 years old.
But it will never get any taller. That's because the very top is dead. However, it keeps growing wider. Every year, the General Sherman adds enough wood to make another 60-foot or 18-meter tall tree.
of the videos really do justice to how mind-bogglingly large these trees really are.
So, anyone who knows me knows that I am not a morning person. However, this was definitely the right choice, getting up bright and early and getting here before all of the crowds, because we really have the park to ourselves. We have seen a few other folks, but not really. It is very well paved, and it has information every so often. So this is very well organized, and definitely recommend, especially coming in early so that you can take your pictures and take footage and enjoy these magnificent trees.
Again, the video does not do this place any justice. So this slab is about 2,200 years old. That's 2,200 years old. Each of these sets of cracks here show a fire that this tree survived. And according to the board here, every century of its life, it will have gone through 80 or so major fires that were hot enough to damage the inside of the tree. Wow. So this tree was alive in zero. Before zero, 2,200 years ago. That's amazing.
The groves of the trees are so peaceful and quiet in the morning, and it's hard to walk and not feel a sense of wonder.
Walking through the pathways cut into the fallen trees help you appreciate the grand scale of everything here.
And it's a cool thing to do.
The scenery is unreal. It reminds me of the forest moon of Endor from Return of the Jedi. Check out the burns on these trees. So we decided that we were going to forego retiring all over the world, and we're just going to move to Sequoia National Park and live inside this tree.
It's called a room tree, and it even has a window.
But this is big enough for us to sleep in. While it's hard to grasp how large the room tree is, you can see the size of the doorway as we exit. Keep in mind that it's not even a particularly large sequoia.
The Founders Group is a large stand of giant sequoias that is dedicated to the memory of the citizens who created Sequoia National Park, a very fitting memorial.
Here you can see the scarring from last year's wildfires. It's estimated that about 10 to 15% of the trees in this forest died in the Castle Fire. But sequoias need fire to help them reproduce. Heat is needed for their pine cones to release their seeds. While over 7,500 giant sequoias died in the fire, already more than 3,000 seedlings have sprouted from the devastation. The new growth may not have the time needed to develop the fire-resistant bark and will be vulnerable to wildfires until they do.
As you can see, giant sequoias have a very shallow root system, so if the ground gets too wet or too dry, the trees can fall over, which always results in their deaths. There are a few meadows in this section of the forest. It really gives an ethereal vibe. This is also where you'll be most likely to encounter the local wildlife. This is Tarp's cabin, a pioneer cabin made out of a fallen sequoia. It has a bedroom in the narrow end, and a fireplace, a window, and a door at the wider end.
So it's a shame we weren't just recording there. There was a bear cub about 20 meters away, maybe 30. We startled him because we didn't see him, and he took off down the hill. They move really fast. It was amazing to see how fast that bear cub could move. They are incredible. When they say you cannot outrun a bear, you really cannot outrun a bear. We also took that opportunity to calmly hurry out of the area, just in case Mama Bear was nearby.
Adrenaline will make sure you forget you're tired, but despite the adrenaline rush, we stayed cool. Black bears, like the ones in this park, don't really attack without provocation. And we made it to the highest point of our hike. The view is majestic.
Amazing to see how many of these enormous trees are hollowed out due to wildfires, but many are still alive and growing with green crowns and everything.
The precedent tree is the third or second, depending on who you believe, largest tree in the world and is the oldest known living sequoia. This magnificent tree is over 3,200 years old.
So we just finished our first hike of the day, that 7-mile trek, which felt more like 10. It was really great though. We had a really good time. It was really a nice, peaceful walk. Important tip, get to the park very early. As we were leaving at noon, or 1 o'clock I guess it was, the park was completely full. In fact, you could no longer park in the parking lot for the General Sherman giant sequoia. So it's important.
So if you want to avoid the crowds, bright and early is the way to go. We really had the park to ourselves for most of the time, except at the end there. So definitely recommending that. So right now we are at the
Lodgepole
Visitor Center, and we just had some lunch, and now we're going to be driving north to the Kings Canyon so that we can see the second largest sequoia in the world, which is General Grant.
The General Grant, yes.
Yes. So we're heading there now.
There's a nice road called the General's Highway that leads from the main Sequoia National Park to Kings Canyon. It's a beautiful drive that really lets you see these lands. It's very important to know that this road is often closed due to bad weather. They even recommend checking it every day to see if it's open or not. You must have a 4x4 and tire chains with you if you plan to go in winter, as the road is unplowed on weekends. highlights of Kings Canyon is the General Grant tree, which features another easy 0.8 mile or 1.2 kilometer paved loop that allows you to see the tree from all angles and even show some interesting things like this hollow passage where you can walk through.
We just parked and we are on our way to see General Grant tree. This is very nice and organized, and definitely a lot of people, but of course it is later in the day, so we were expecting that. We are right now chilling on a bench overlooking the General Grant tree from afar. It is beautiful and really impressive, so we can't wait to get close to it.
General Grant tree is the tallest giant sequoia in the world. It's nicknamed America's Christmas tree and is the only living thing to be dedicated as a national shrine in memorial to all those who died in war.
That was a short hike, but we are excited that we got to see General Grant's tree. We are going to be heading back south, hopefully get to our little camper before nighttime so that we can get some dinner. As we drive back towards Three Rivers, it's very important to note that the parks are up in the mountains and the roads are very twisty. There are many sections that have vehicle length limits and trailer limits. Make sure you know which ones you can and can't drive on.
Also, the downhill sections can make you burn up your brakes. Follow the posted signs, use lower gears, and don't ride your brakes or they could fail when you need them most.
Even later in the day, there are still many people heading into the park. Look at this line. The park is open 24 hours a day if you're brave enough to walk with the giants at night.
So we're back at our RV, back from the Sequoia Park. We're in Three Rivers, which is only at 800 feet elevation, so about 7,000 feet lower than we were earlier. And it's also about 30 degrees hotter here. It's about 105.
Yes, but it's 105 with dry weather, without the Houston humidity. So it's actually not that bad. The property we're on actually has access to one of the rivers here. So we are going to go and check that out and see if we can dip our toes and enjoy some of that cool water. Hopefully, we'll see. We could not find a way to get down to the river, but even if we did, the river is so low that it's not even moving. So I don't think I want to dip my toes in there. So we're just going to chill and enjoy the rest of our evening here. And tomorrow we're going to be driving
To Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas.
The drive has some beautiful areas. It's amazing how you can go from forest to desert so quickly. It's a 6-hour drive from Three Rivers to Las Vegas, going through the Mojave Desert.
We are in the middle of the Mojave Desert. We're on our way from the Sequoias to Las Vegas.
It is desolate but beautiful, but it's also really hot, so we are not going to be staying here very long. We are going to continue driving to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Las Vegas. Don't forget your sunscreen. Or only go out after dark.
This stop is going to be all about recharging batteries before continuing our road trip, so we're keeping it pretty chill.
here we are in beautiful Las Vegas. We're staying at the Link Hotel this trip, and we're here on the Link Promenade. Very lovely. It is about 106 degrees tonight.
It does not feel that bad, maybe because of the dry heat, maybe because they do have some misters to help with that heat. So we just had dinner and we are gonna go grab a drink and meet some friends and spend the night like that.
This is the Candy Martini Bar located inside the I Love Sugar store on the Link Promenade. Downstairs is filled with all the candy you can desire, and the upstairs has a candy cocktail bar. This is the I've Been Drinking Watermelon Martini. The big drink comes with a show, but it's way too sweet for us. So it's been a very relaxing trip here to Vegas, which is different than it usually is. We're staying over at the Link Hotel. We got a great deal on it, $35 a night. And it's not the best or the classiest hotel on the Strip, but that's one of the beauties of Las Vegas.
It's really nice that you can really go to any hotel that you want and get the experience that each place offers. Like right now we are at the Cosmopolitan, which is one of our favorite hotels here in Vegas, and we have reservations to go have dinner at Momofuku, so we're very excited about that. And here there's also a bar called the Chandelier, which is also gorgeous. That's probably where we're going to be later tonight. Las Vegas is a great destination for food, which is one of our favorite things. Well, David Chang's Momofuku did not disappoint. That was fantastic. So we are now with our tummies full and ready to enjoy the night.
Yeah, so we're going to have a couple of drinks here at the Chandelier and do some people watching, because that is one of our favorite things to do in Las Vegas, because as we've mentioned before, neither of us are gamblers. So the shows and the people watching are our real draw here in Las Vegas. And so we're going to have a couple of drinks and then we're going to go meet some friends for a show. We love the Chandelier Bar and the Cosmopolitan Hotel in general. You should really consider joining their rewards program if you're going to spend any time or money here.
This has been a nice, relaxing break. We have recharged our batteries and are ready to continue our road trip. This brings to an end the Sequoia and Vegas part of our trip, and now we are headed to Canal.
Yep, we're going to be going to Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon, the Grand Canyon, Grand Staircase, maybe Antelope Canyon. Who knows? We're going to be in Utah and Arizona seeing what there is to see. So we hope you enjoyed coming along with us. If you have any questions about Vegas or the Sequoia Park or any other places we've been, please leave a note in the comment below. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell to be notified whenever we post new content.
Until then, please stay safe, do your part, take care of one another, and thank you for joining us.